They will treat you differently, but what are you going to do when the only thing impressive about you is their physique? She gets to know you and you hard on the outside but soft on the inside. You look like you strong. Base CBO, aka Cole Brown Official. And today I will be talking about why body game will not save you, right? I think a lot of us overestimate the power of body game, and a lot of us overestimate a lot of things that go on in the manosphere, from semen retention to no fap. All that stuff is great, but that's not all you need. You need to be well-rounded. Like I said, to get paid, you need to be a master at one thing, but to get a good woman in your life, to build good connections, you need multiple things. So I talk about this because I've seen many men that have been in very good shape, but they're terrible with women. I've seen many men with a lot of money, but they're terrible with women. And then they go and try to buy the chick, right? You trying to buy the broad, she don't like you like that. So the more money you have, it's not gonna make her like you even more, right? First you gotta like you, and then the money helps. So many things contribute to finding the woman you want, to having the women you want, whatever you're into. Many things contribute to that, right? Body game is just one part, but I preach body game because the first step, right? You have to build that confidence, but it's not everything. Just because you have a good physique, that doesn't mean you'll have a good woman. And understanding human nature is probably the most important aspect. Part of having game is knowing what to do with a woman, knowing what type of woman she is, right? Telling it to my homie the other day, we went out to eat, telling him how my dating life been going very well. Like, I have women open up to me, and I really be feeling like a therapist sometimes. And he like, man, how do you get them to open up to you and stuff like that? I said, first, you gotta be a good listener. And then you have to come off, you're not judging them. You might be judging them in the back of your head, but you have to come off like you're not judging them at all. 3, I like to open up to them. I might give them a little story about my past, right? So that's what I told him to do. And he's like, no, I'm not opening up to a woman. Oh, I already learned my lesson. And like, that's the issue. You too connected emotionally to your past. Because you should be able to open up to somebody, tell them a story that happened to you as a child, and then be okay with it. But he's like, nah, she gonna use that against me later on. I'm not doing that. A lot of women will do that. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. A lot of women will do that. You open up to them, and then they try to bring it up and embarrass you, right? But that's the old you. Why are you embarrassed about what happened to you in the past if you learned from it, if you grew from it? Like the story I'll tell a lot of women. I might talk about how when I grew up, people thought I was retarded because of my speech impediment. So I might go a lot of different angles. That's why you gotta live life. You gotta have different stories to tell. I don't think y'all should just make up shit and bullshit your way around to get the coochie. Nah, live life, have some real stories, man. Have some life experience. And that's why I tell y'all to get off these games and get outside, right? Get some more experience in the real world. So I'll have stories about certain shit and I'll bring that up. Even though some of these stories might be embarrassing, it might be embarrassing, but I'm not emotionally connected to it. I grew from it. I'm not the same person I was 10 years ago, right? So if they try to bring that up and like attack me over it, it wouldn't bother me. It wouldn't bother me at all. So you have to be able to move on from your past. You have to be able to connect with people, right? And I think this brother's afraid of connecting with people because one chick he dealt with did him dirty, and now he doesn't want to open up. But then your conversations are going to be shallow, right? And I'm not saying you have to sit down and have deep conversation with every woman you want to talk to, but the ones that you want to get serious with, the ones that you see for long term, yeah, you should want to sit down and really find out why they think the way they do, how their childhood was. Really get inside her brain. Because body game is a big advantage. But if you're in the wrong location, if you don't have any confidence to approach a woman, if you don't know how to take any good photos, present yourself online, it's not gonna matter. I see guys all the time that have great physiques, but they have terrible posture. They carry themselves in a bad way. So no matter how good their physique look, they still struggle with women. Because they might be hard on the outside, but they're soft on the inside. That's why I was telling this brother, you gotta move on from what happened in the past. You have to learn from it and move on from it. You should be able to open up to somebody and not be so emotionally attached to it to where it would hurt you if they brought it up. If a woman brought up my past that I opened up to her about, okay, now she's a dirtbag. I don't have no respect for her, but she can't hurt my feelings because I know who I am. That's the issue. A lot of y'all don't know who you are. So when you don't know who you are, little things like that are gonna break you. Little things like that are gonna break you and shake you. It can't shake me, because I know exactly who I am. My physique is just one small part of me, right? So that's why I tell y'all, man, there's so many different aspects. You gotta be in a good location. I'm not in the best location. I know my dating life would be a lot easier if I upped and moved to a better location. What type of women do you like? If you like white girls and you're not in a location with a lot of white girls, all right, what are you doing? If you like black girls and you in a location full of white girls, what are you doing? You would have thin markets, and it's just gonna make it harder for yourself. So put yourself in the right position and build the man that you were meant to be. Body game is the first step, but it's not the whole journey. A lot of y'all brothers think you get in good shape and dating is gonna be easy. You've accomplished everything now because you got in good shape. No, that's just one step. That's just the beginning of it. You still got to work on your game. You still have to work on the way you present yourself. You still have to understand human nature, so you can spot that good woman when you see her, and you can spot the woman that you shouldn't deal with long term. You see it all the time. You see it all the time. These celebrities, they blow up, they're making all this money, and then they get hit with that Me Too. They get finessed. They get divorced and get half this shit taken because they didn't understand human nature. They didn't know how to spot a good woman from a bad woman. That bad woman was playing pretend for a little bit and they got finessed. So understanding the human nature is a very important part, because you can have a good physique, you can make the money, but if you can't spot a bad woman and a good woman, when you can't spot the bitch from a woman, oh, that's gonna be an issue. That's gonna be an issue, and you're always gonna suffer because of that. So there's many different aspects of this, man. Build your physique up, but that's just the first step. Learn who you are. Find out who you want to be. Because if you only have a good physique, if you only have money, if you only have clout, if you only in a good location, that's not going to be enough. You need a combination of things. But the best thing you can do is find out who you are and get outside. Start doing new stuff. Start living life. Because this life will try to make you so comfortable. Get in nature. A lot of y'all have all this anxiety and depression and all this other shit because you cooped up in your room. You stay in your room like it's a cage. Get outside in nature. Start going on runs. Start journaling. Find out what you want out of life, man. Because before you can lead a woman, you got to lead yourself. A lot of y'all are lost, so you try to, oh, I'm going to attach myself to this semen retention. I'm going to attach myself to this no-fap. I'm going to attach myself to this body game. It's just a combination of things you got to put the work in. But body game, that's a great first step. Because they will treat you differently. They will treat you differently, but what are you going to do when the only thing impressive about you is your physique? She gets to know you and you hard on the outside but soft on the inside. You look like you strong and you could fight, but then a situation comes up and you get your ass beat right in front of your girl. So you got to accept reality, man. Body game is the first good step, but it's not the whole journey. Don't get too attached to these certain little groups and these little niches, because it's much more than just body game. It's much more than just semen retention. It's much more than no fap. It's about becoming your best version. It's about the self-improvement as a whole. Becoming the man you always knew you could be. It's not just about being physically strong. It's about being mentally strong. But a lot of times that you take your body somewhere, your mind's going to follow. Put yourself through tough times. Put yourself through some hard workouts. And you're going to become a better man from it. You're going to really learn who you are. That's all I got for y'all today. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't. Like that video as well. And I'll catch y'all boys in the next one.